Are you looking to build an awesome gaming setup around AMD's latest RX 9070 XT? Because if so, I might have just the video for you. Today, I'll be combining AMD's latest GPU with some genuinely incredible hardware to build an awesome gaming setup. From the world's first inductive analog keyboard to a gaming desk that's got an integrated glass mousepad and an ultra-wide OLED monitor that's going to give us buttery smooth gameplay with a 240Hz refresh rate. I'll be walking you guys through all of my choices, what makes some of this hardware just so special, and showing you how you can follow along for yourself to build an awesome gaming setup in 2025. Let's do this. I'm going to kick things off by walking you guys through all the bits that I've chosen for this setup and why, as well as some alternative choices if you wanted to spend a little less or even a little more. Now, starting off very briefly with the PC, this is based on a recent build video that I made, which you can check out on the channel in the card section now, and it's based around AMD's 9070 XT. The only difference in today's video is that I'm actually going to go for this version, which is the ASUS TUF Gaming. I'm intrigued to take a look at it, and I think it's going to work really well in the system. The build is also made up of a Ryzen 7 9700X CPU. It's got 32 gigabytes of RAM, an X870 motherboard, but one on the more affordable end of the spectrum, and it's built inside a Montech stunning King 65. Now, in terms of peripherals, let's start off with the keyboard, because this is pretty exciting, and I've got to give a big shout out to Ducky for sending this over, sponsoring today's video, and helping to make it possible. This is actually really exciting because it's an inductive keyboard, and what that means is it uses analog switches, but actually gives you an adjustable actuation point. Now, what that means is that if you're doing some work in the day and you're typing and you're playing games in the evening, you can adjust it on the fly, which is really cool. And of course, if you're playing different games, we've got different key bindings, different preferred actuation points. You've got all those options on this keyboard. It's also tri-mode, so you can connect over Bluetooth via a wide connection or via the lower latency dongle. And I have had a little bit of hands-on time with this board before, and other than being very heavy, I can tell you it's an impressive bit of kit. Take a look at this. Now, this is the full-size layout. They do a smaller layout as well, so if you're not so bothered about the number pad and you want a smaller board, you've got that option. Feels really, really solid. I can't actually show you the inductive element of it yet. We need to wait until it's powered up. But as far as the keyboard for today's build goes, this thing is pretty special. Let me talk about the mouse quickly as well. This is an endgame gear design. This is the XM2WE. It's wireless. It's incredibly light, which I'm personally a big fan of, and just feels really nice in the hand. It's fairly small as far as mice go, but for me, that's pretty good. There's not too many bells and whistles in terms of extra buttons. This is definitely an FPS mouse, right? Where you want that really, really quick, no-nonsense action. Let's look at the headset briefly before talking about the monitor, and then actually the desk and chair I'll be using in today's setup too. This is the Corsair Virtuoso Max. It's their new high-end headset. This is the really, really nice silver design, and it's got a few party tricks up its sleeve, which I really rather like. Not only do you get an included hard carry case, which is great for actually taking these out and about with you. However, the actual design themselves is pretty stunning. You've got this nice adjustable wheel on both of the ear cups, so you can program that to control things like the volume. Got this really nice soft leatherette headband and these ear cups, which are fairly large. This has got high-end 50mm drivers in as well, going to give you great sound quality, and like everything else in today's build, we can use it wired or wireless, something which is obviously all down to personal preference, but it's going to make things like cable management in the setup later quite a bit easier. As far as the monitor, the desk, but first the chair is concerned, this is from ThunderX3, and it's their brand new ThunderX3 Mesh, and it's actually really interesting. I get a lot of gaming chairs here at the studio, and I don't really like many of them because I just find them just not that comfortable. This is the opposite. You've obviously got adjustable armrests, which is cool. The actual chair itself is all fully mesh, and you get this really nice adjustable lumbar. The amount of adjustment in this chair is pretty nuts. You can adjust the headrest. You can go ahead, as I say, adjust the armrests in lots of different directions. You can even tilt them up and down. In total, you get 5D armrest customization, and you can even make the armrest go laterally if you want to sort of get it out of the way while still having a bit of support for typing and gaming. The rest of the chair gives you 8D support with a huge amount of adjustability in everything from the headrest to the backrest, lumbar support, the base plate that you sit on. There is loads. But beyond that, you've actually got the ability here to turn this knob and actually get a bit of recline. And then on this side, we have, now what does that do? What does that knob do? There's just so much adjustability in this thing, it's actually kind of nuts. And that means you can get it to be perfectly the right sort of fit and feel for your setup. I'm also going to talk about the desk at this stage, which is obviously a bit of a mess at the moment. This is also from ThunderX3, and this is actually really, really interesting. Now, not only does it have the usual party tricks, you can say that, for example, you want it to be in standing mode rather than seated mode, and you can obviously set presets and you can adjust the height manually if you so wish. But if I move the graphics card box out the way, you get things like an integrated water bottle holder, mesh sides on the left and right to give your PC good airflow, and this front portion of the desk is actually this sort of glass integrated mouse pad, which is going to make your mouse really nice and easy to actually glide across, and means you haven't got to buy an actual mouse pad. There's also a little integrated headphone holder down here, which is pretty cool. And look at this for attention to detail. You get a rubber grommet at the back, presumably so you can have your headphones charging on here. If they've got a cable, you can have the cable ran through. It's all very, very clever. And then looking underneath, there's an integrated cable management tray with more holes and grommets and things. It's quite nice down here. I might just stay down here forever and ignore the stresses of life, because obviously building PCs for a living is an arduous and highly difficult task that requires lots of sympathy. The final thing I haven't yet talked about is the monitor. Now, how can I forget this? This is the ROG Swift OLED PG34WCDM. Very long. This is an ultra-wide monitor, so it's 3440 by 1440, which should be a good resolution for our 9070 XT. It's halfway basically between 1440p and 4K. It is OLED and it's 240 Hz, which should mean that even at the monitor's full res in competitive titles where you're gonna get that good frame rate, you can actually take advantage of it. It is expensive, I'm not gonna lie. There are cheaper options, and I'll link some alternative, more affordable ultra-wides down below in the 34-inch form factor. This to me feels like a good sort of spiritual successor to something like the Alienware QD OLED there, 34-inch ultra-wide, which is a little older now and doesn't have the refresh rate upside you're going to see from this 240 Hz panel. So with that all said and done, I'm going to chuck the graphics card, RAM and SSD into the PC first of all, and then go ahead and get the whole setup built. Top tip, if you're looking to make your setup look a little bit cleaner, pick up something like this. This is a Duronic monitor arm, cost me like £25, $30 on Amazon maximum, and this is going to take the monitor with its actually quite nice included stand and actually just give it a cleaner look on the setup overall. Now on this ASUS monitor, I do actually need to use this release switch to take the monitor off the stand and very carefully hold this $1,500 monitor with one arm, and then extra carefully place it on the desk, bearing in mind it's curved, and I really don't want to break it. I'm then going to take this, which is the included VESA adapter bracket, and I'm going to hopefully fairly easily pop that on. Yeah, that was very easy. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top portion of the monitor arm, which is this little boy right here, loosen that off, and I'm going to use the screws that come included with our Duronic VESA arm just to secure the monitor into place. You can tell it's installed because you should be able to pick it up without too many problems. Be prepared to catch it, but just wiggle it now. You don't want it falling off later. And then for the slightly fiddly job of just securing this into place. Aha, there we go. It's starting to grip. You want it nice and tight because the monitor is not particularly light. There we go. How good does that look? And we get a nice degree of adjustability too. Yeah. The big question though is what this thing is actually like to game on. So I've booted up Marvel's Rivals, where I'm about to get killed. And if we look at these settings, I've actually gone for super high settings. I have got FSR on, but set to quality. So a little bit of a performance bump, but we're not cheating too much. And I've got the graphics quality on high as well, pretty much across the board. And as you can see at the full 3440 by 1440 resolution, the frame rate is still over 200 frames per second, which is frankly absolutely nuts. And the game on this ASUS monitor looks absolutely incredible. One thing I do want to show you as we jump into Marvel's Rivals here is the software for the keyboard. So you can see here that actually it's all done via the internet, and you can adjust the actuation force on the fly. So let's take it right up to the lowest actuation point. That means that the key has to travel the least distance. And I've gone ahead and done this for the WASD keys. I'm going to chuck those all the way down to 0.1 to give us that fastest possible actuation point. But you can change different keys. To say you want the space bar to be a slightly higher amount, you can go ahead and say, well, I want that to be 2.7. The adjustability is actually kind of nuts. And you do, of course, get rapid trigger support, which I know is really important for a lot of you competitive gamers out there. And as you can see then in a gaming environment, when I'm moving, it's just absolutely rapid. Just a little too rapid for typing, hence you would change it. You're probably also wondering how this keyboard sounds. So here we go. Pretty good all in all, and I have to say, I do quite like it. Yes! Oh my god, there's people everywhere! Whoa! What did you... Oh, the OLED monitor on this ASUS panel also looks frankly amazing. And the colors and vibrancy of this game, especially at that 240 Hz refresh rate of the panel, just look absolutely incredible. Really impressed with the performance, and you can see in a range of titles when we actually tested this build out in the likes of, say, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Apex Legends, you're seeing really great frame rate and performance across the board too, but you're still going to expect to see awesome frame rates with an ultra-wide monitor like this, and I have to say, I've been really impressed with the peripherals and the desk, right? The desk is so nice, the tracking speed on the mouse feels really good on this glass portion just here, and as far as gaming setups go, it's great to have one that's all AMD powered and still provides that top tier gaming performance. What do you guys think of the setup today? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you'd like to buy anything that I've featured in today's build, latest pricing will be in the description too. Thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.